In a remote valley deep within Yemen's desert lies a place so extraordinary it looks like something straight out of a movie. A city of towering buildings made entirely out of mud. Welcome to Shibam, one of the world's oldest and most stunning cities, often called the Manhattan of the desert. Shibam is located in the Hadramaut Valley in south-central Yemen, right along the edge of the Arabian Desert. While it may seem isolated today, this area was once a major trade route, linking inland Arabian towns with ports on the Indian Ocean. And it was right there in a valley in the middle of the desert that Shibam developed. A true commercial oasis protected by walls and surrounded by history. But what truly grabs attention are the city's vertical mud brick buildings. A true medieval skyline, right in the desert. Some of these buildings reach up to 11 stories, standing over 100 feet tall, built entirely from sun-dried mud bricks. And it's not just the design that amazes, it's also their age. These structures are more than 500 years old. While cities like New York and Dubai hadn't even dreamed of skyscrapers, Shibam was already reaching for the sky back in the Middle Ages. Probably these were the world's first skyscrapers. But why, 500 years ago, in a place with so much land, would anyone build upward like this? Well, there were a few key reasons. First, city defense relied heavily on surrounding walls, and space inside those walls was limited. The solution? Build upward. Second, since Shibam is in a valley, massive floods occur almost every year during the rainy season, and the city often gets hit. Though the walls help, water still flows in, so building upward helped people escape the rising water. There's also the matter of heat. Taller buildings allowed access to breezes above the city walls. And the upper floors were coated in white lime plaster, which reflected sunlight and helped keep interiors cooler. A clever solution to desert heat. All of this shows that even back then, urban planning was highly advanced. But Shibam wasn't always like this. The area has been inhabited for over 2,000 years. But the vertical city we know today began to take shape around the 10th century. After a devastating flood destroyed the earlier settlement. And it was at that moment that the inhabitants decided to rebuild the city with a new approach. This time, protected by walls and with vertical buildings made of mud, straw, and date palm wood, which is a common tree in the region. And while these mud buildings may look fragile, they're actually extremely resilient. Most are still inhabited today. Families continue to live in them as their ancestors did, with a few modern upgrades. Some even have AC systems. As for how the space was used, the ground floor typically served as a shop, the second floor as storage or animal shelter, and the upper levels were reserved for family living. You might ask, how can a city made entirely of mud survive repeated floods without collapsing? The answer? Constant maintenance. Every year after the rainy season, locals apply a fresh layer of mud to each building's facade, like repainting, but with clay. It's a tradition passed down for centuries that keeps the city standing against harsh desert weather. And don't think these were crude buildings. Aside from their advanced design, the buildings feature carved doors and windows, intricate wooden decorations, and thoughtful layout, proof of a sophisticated culture behind the mud walls. Skilled wood artisans still live and work in the city today. In 1982, Shibam was officially recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, seen as the first vertical urban city in history. And this recognition isn't just for architecture. It's also for the preserved way of life, the smart use of natural resources, and its importance as a cultural and commercial hub. It's one of the best examples of harmonious living between humans and the environment. Here are some interesting facts about Shibam. 1. The city has around 500 mudbrick buildings, and the material helps regulate indoor temperature, keeping it cooler during summer. 2. Surrounding the city are date palm farms, which remain a vital food source and income stream for locals. 3. The narrow shaded streets are perfect for walking and help reduce ground level heat. 4. Every door in the city is unique, hand-carved with its own design. But unfortunately, like many other historic cities, this place faces modern challenges. First, the already mentioned erosion caused by rains that constantly damage the foundations of the buildings. Another problem is the lack of financial resources for the restoration of the site due to the civil war that has been unfolding in Yemen for many years. Financial resources for this city from the government are practically nil, with many of its restoration works currently being funded by donations from people around the world, including several international organizations and local groups that continue to work to protect the city and keep alive the tradition of building with mud. There are even training programs for local youth to learn the ancient techniques, ensuring this knowledge isn't lost with time. And because of its uniqueness, the city once welcomed many tourists. Visitors could explore the markets, buy crafts and local goods, walk on the rooftops, and watch the sunset over the mud towers, sometimes even joining the rhythm of daily life. Sadly, due to the current crisis, tourism is now limited for safety reasons. But despite it all, Shibam stands strong, a symbol of human creativity, of beauty and simplicity, and the power to preserve history against all odds. It reminds us that even in the harshest environments, brilliant civilizations can rise and thrive.